Intro to crime fiction. Learning goals. I will understand how to recognize key elements and typical storylines of the crime fiction genre. I will be able to define crime fiction and identify generic conventions and subgenres of the genre. What is crime fiction? Crime fiction focuses on narratives involving detectives, police officers, or amateurs solving crimes, investigations, or mysteries, as well as the wider pursuit of justice. Now, let's explore some of the common conventions of crime fiction together. Generic conventions. The crime. A major offense like murder, theft, or conspiracy serves as the central plot. The criminal. The antagonist is usually the person responsible for the crime, the criminal. The detective. The protagonist is often a detective or private investigator trying to solve the crime. Generic conventions. Red herrings. Misleading clues that divert the detective and the audience from the truth. The setting. The setting is usually either in an urban, large city, or isolated, for example, farmland, location. The solution. The story typically ends with the crime being solved and justice being served. What are some subgenres? The crime fiction genre branches into several subgenres. Each subgenre contains elements that might overlap with other literary genres you are familiar with. Let's explore some of these subgenres together. List of subgenres. Classic detective. Classic detective fiction focuses on logical deduction and puzzle solving, often featuring a brilliant and quirky detective. Hard-boiled crime. Hard-boiled crime fiction features a tough, cynical detective navigating morally ambiguous scenarios, typically set in urban environments. List of subgenres. Police procedural. Police procedurals emphasize the procedural aspect of the police as they systematically solve crimes, often focusing on teamwork. Psychological thriller. Psychological thrillers center on the psychological states of characters, exploring dark, complex emotional and mental conditions of the psyche. List of subgenres. Cozy mysteries. Cozy mysteries revolve around amateur sleuths solving crimes with a light-hearted, often humorous tone in close-knit communities. Historical detective. Historical detective fiction combines detective work with historical settings, where detectives tackle crimes in a different era. List of subgenres. Locked room mysteries. Locked room mysteries involve crimes executed in seemingly impenetrable conditions, challenging the detective to solve the impossible. Private eye stories. Private eye stories feature independent detectives working outside the official law enforcement framework to solve crimes. Character archetypes. Crime fiction features a variety of character archetypes, each crucial to the development of the plot. These characters are central to the narrative's progress and help engage readers in the mystery. Let's explore some of these archetypes together. Main characters. Protagonists. Protagonists in crime fiction are usually detectives or investigators whose intelligence and observation skills are key to unraveling mysteries. Antagonists. Antagonists in crime fiction often remain shrouded in mystery, posing a direct challenge to the protagonist and adding suspense to the story. Side characters. The sidekick. Misleading clues that divert the detective and the audience from the truth. The victim. The setting is usually either in an urban, large city, or isolated, for example, farmland, location. The suspect. The story typically ends with the crime being solved and justice being served. Reflective activity. Work in small groups to plan the plot of a crime fiction story incorporating what you've learned today. In your planning, answer the following questions. What crime is at the center of your story? What clues or red herrings will you include? How will the crime be solved? The end. Thanks for listening.